it's Francesca from Consciousful Tarot. Thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube channel and clicking on this video. I am going to be making a video for the Twin Flame Collective, a Twin Flame Collective update for Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. So first I'm going to go ahead and start with what's going on in the collective. Then I'm going to get how each twin thinks and feels about each other and what's going on with them in their journey. Okay, so I am seeing that I do feel, right, and I do see the twins, Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine, going into alignment. So there's a lot of alignment. They're actually manifesting each other. There's already unions right now happening in the 3D, but there's also unions happening in the 5D that's helping harness the connection. But I am seeing that right now the twins are going through phases where they're actually focusing on their self-worth. They're focusing on how they were potentially rejecting themselves and how they could have been rejecting each other. So they are letting go of worries. They're letting go of over criticizing themselves, and they're realizing how they were potentially over criticizing their twin, right? And this is helping them in a way, second guess themselves. It's also helping them potentially raise their karma by doing something good for their twin. You know what I mean? So I am seeing how they were potentially underrating this connection and now trying to find balance in this connection. They're also seeing how they can release the internal grudges that they have in this connection here. And they're also, the obsession is stopping. So there is balance happening. They're letting go of grudges. I'm seeing that potentially both twins could have been like paranoid, or they had some sort of imbalance, and now they're wanting to make the investment. They're not trusting in the process. They're trusting that, this is worth waiting for. They're trusting that they may need to loosen up their emotions, release the fears. I am seeing that both twins are actually going through a rebirth in the paradigm. So the paradigm is getting reformed in the sense where it's not going to be imbalanced. There's not going to be one that is self-absorbed. There's not going to be a one-sided connection. There's not going to be one that is love bombing and the other one is just expecting nothing and receiving nothing. So I am seeing that they are going through a deep transformation, but this is also helping them kind of like create union within themselves, and it's happening. So I am seeing that some of you guys, if you guys are twin flames watching, of course, some of you guys are actually going to be going into union, and actually, honestly, I see you guys like making love, and like it's going to be pretty good. So leave in the comments below what happens. I'm seeing that the twins are activating their contract. There's going to be proof of this connection coming into fruition. I'm seeing reunions. I'm seeing coming back home. I'm seeing that both of your guys' mindset has changed about what you guys need to do. You guys are on the same wavelength in the sense of like wanting to collaborate, wanting to work together, wanting to build on a partnership. You guys are both now determined. There's also been a release of dark energy, a release of interferences. You guys have both been praying and wishing for this to happen, and it's happening. You guys are attracting each other here. I'm seeing that, like I said, the paradigm is being reformed. So if there was any pettiness, if there was any jealousy from other people, that is not going to affect the connection anymore. You guys are now getting back to the roots, getting back to your own roots. I'm seeing that you guys are now like living your best lives in the sense where you're guiding your life more playful. You're getting back to your innocence. You're getting back to your creativity. You're enjoying the simple things, right? And this is allowing you guys to not only nurture yourselves, but nurture the connection and kind of like redefine the quality of the connection. So there's not going to be a sense where like one is bargaining or begging for each other's love. I do see mutual understanding and mutual communication here. There's going to be a lot of unconditional love that will be given. I do see you guys communicating this week and getting together, potentially, going on dates, going to gatherings, really enjoying this connection. So definitely I'm seeing unions happening this week and in the upcoming week, going into July, reunions. happening. The magnetic connection is going to be very intense to the point where it's definitely going to take you guys into a space where you guys are both going to now be able to now be able to be loose in the connection. So you're going to be able to let your guard down. You're going to be able to also not feel like you need to pretend, not feel like you need to carry a facade. I am seeing that the communication and the interactions are going to be very genuine, very playful. You guys are going to be able to recapture the romance by connecting to that innocent parts of yourselves and old memories, insiders. Like, I'm seeing that there's going to be proof of this connection moving forward, and there's going to be a lot of insane chemistry that's going to help you guys honestly rekindle that kundalini, activate that kundalini, and the spiritual bond is going to be connected. I'm seeing some of you guys now removing any sort of facade. So I'm seeing that there was like a facade, you removing it, or your twin now removing it, and that's going to help you guys be more compassionate towards each other, be more playful, being able to speak through your child's voice and not your ego's voice based off fear. And I'm seeing a lot of confessions coming in. This could be while you guys are hanging out, there's going to be confessions, there's going to be apologies, there's going to be a sense of you guys both feeling like, I'm feeling like intense butterflies. I'm feeling a lot of daydreaming energy. So the evidence that you guys are going to be getting during this week, right, is going to give you the certainty that things are going to move forward. So if you guys are in no communication, I am seeing they're rekindling communication, things getting on the light side, right? You guys being more playful, opening your guys' selves back to each other, changing your mindsets, and the paradigm being reformed in the sense where both of you guys are not fighting for power. And if you guys are already in communication and moving forward, things are going to be moving forward quickly. I am seeing unions, and I am seeing you guys moving forward. And if you guys are in no communication, you guys are going to be moving forward really fast to the point where it's going to be like a roller coaster where it's going to move really fast. Like, you guys could have not been in communication for a while, and then all of a sudden you guys are like back in each other's lives full blown, and it's going to be really exciting. So let's go ahead and see how Divine Masculine is doing. Guys, so now I'm going to go ahead and see how Divine Masculine is thinking and feeling about Divine Feminine and how he's doing on his journey. So I was picking up the song that this is like once in a lifetime and he wants to come back home. So I am seeing that right now Divine Masculine is going through a phase where he's focused on what he wants. He's focused on being patient for this connection to unfold. His faith in the connection has deepened. He feels as though just because things aren't exactly where he wants them to be, that doesn't mean that he's not manifesting it. That doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. That doesn't mean that he doesn't have the courage to come forward. And he's having a lot of faith in himself, faith in what he can do to actually achieve success with you, Divine Feminine. And I'm seeing that he's realizing that he does need patience because he's still getting out of this phase where he feels bad for himself. He feels frustrated due to all the sabotage that he caused to the connection, due to all the fear that he has to opening his heart back up to Divine Feminine. He's still in a place where he's overcoming his depression. He's overcoming the emotional torment that the karmic put him through. I'm seeing that he's also going through, releasing the lack of confidence to coming forward. But it's like he's coming closer and closer to that. It's like he's disconnecting from, oh my God, and I have my laptop on the floor, and as soon as I said disconnecting, the screen turned black. Okay, that's pretty crazy. Anyway, so he's overcoming also some sort of jealousy that he may feel because he may be tuned into what he's seeing online, or he may be super tuned into your guys' energy, that he feels you guys being in your element, and it makes him happy, but it also makes him feel like you guys don't need him. So I am seeing that, Divine Feminine, I'll get to you guys in a second, of course, but he feels as though, Divine Feminine, you're at a point where, you're authentically yourself, you're rising above, And this is like making him feel a little bit insecure. So he's trying to overcome this stagnation, this apathy. He's overcoming this remorse, but he's also in a space where he's had enough of feeling this way, and he's come to the point where he's on the verge of, he doesn't want to pretend anymore. He doesn't want to pretend he doesn't care. He doesn't want to pretend he doesn't love you. He doesn't want to pretend that this is literally the love of his life. So he's at a point where he's wanting to release the facade, and he's wanting to come in. So I am seeing Divine Masculine sending a message to Divine Feminine this week and extending his lighthearted energy. So if you guys are in no communication, I'm seeing communication. He's saying, wait just a little bit longer, don't worry. But if you guys are in communication, right, and you guys are kind of like in union, I am seeing him getting more vulnerable and more emotionally available. But for a lot of you guys are in no communication, and I am seeing that he's going to be renewing the connection here, renewing the communication, revealing his emotions here, revealing his interests, bringing faith back into the connection, rejuvenating the connection by expressing his love for you, sending a message of love, expressing that he's been thinking of you, that he's been wanting to speak to you. He may honestly want to discuss his feelings and have heart-to-heart conversations and be authentic. I am seeing him freeing himself from any sort of facade. Like, I do see his false sense of self falling apart, and he's gonna be releasing the walls. So I'm seeing like the image of the tower in my mind, which represents him having an upheaval and having an explosion of no longer wanting to be silent and no longer pretending that, you know, he's living beyond his means and that things are just okay. He's going to come in very authentically, and I am seeing him being very vulnerable. So you should be expecting that during this time. I am seeing Divine Masculine also going through, you know, feeling the grief, still feeling the grief in the morning, going through a radical transformation, but he feels the battle is not over. Like he can't throw this away. He can't discard what he feels, because he still gets the magnetic pull to Divine Feminine. So he's discarding, and he has already discarded everything that was in the way between him and Divine Feminine. And he's at a point where he realizes that he punished himself. Like, he's at a point where he realized that he was so lost in his life, so lost when it came to his true self, to his journey, that he moved away from Divine Feminine because he was actually punishing himself. He was in a way not attending his soul mission. So because he was not attending his soul mission, he wasn't able to be in alignment with Divine Feminine. So he realized he abandoned Divine Feminine because he abandoned his plans. He abandoned his life purpose. And now he's going through deep introspection, and is withdrawing in order to get a good sense of what he has done, but in order to get a good sense of what he needs to do moving forward. So he's a little bit in stagnation, but he's moving on from fear. He's immersing himself in this grief and in this mourning, because this is gonna help him recognize where he went wrong, but it's also gonna recognize the responsibility and the accountability he needs to take. And this is gonna help him transform his mind, help him grow, help him get out of some sort of fatigue, and also help him come back learning from his past failures. You know, I am seeing him doing a lot of soul searching, but also like a lot of like researching online to see how he can help himself, how he can grow, I do see some Divine Masculine working on self-development. So this is pretty awesome, because they're throwing out an old belief system of feeling like cowards, stubborn, refusing to compromise, and now they're wanting to actually come forward with a new mind. They're changing their mind. They're wanting to be in a growth state. So I am seeing them releasing already the chains of what was keeping them down, which was the karmic here and their karmic cycles. And now they're at a place where they're mastering their emotional intelligence. They're getting their emotions into balance. They want to show Divine Feminine affection and reciprocal love, because now they're at a point where they're showing sympathy to themselves. They're being friendly with themselves, because now they're not chaining themselves down to a false reality, to a false sense of self. to an old conditioning and programming that was taking them away from their divine mission and their divine reality. And now that they're connecting back with themselves and filling their own cup, now they're remaining positive and what they can produce for divine feminine. So I am seeing some divine masculines coming in with a friendship, coming in with love, but some of them coming full blown with wanting to open their heart with you. They're going to come in very childlike. They're seeing a lot of signs about you. I'm seeing them seeing a lot of signs like while they're driving. So they'll be like driving and they can like see your name. They can like see signs of like things that you guys would talk about. But they're seeing a lot of signs while they're driving specifically. And they're wanting to come in very fast. So I'm seeing some of them literally contacting by the 28th. If you guys are already in communication, I'm seeing the divine masculine wanting to travel with you. So wanting to actually travel, go to the next level, book a holiday trip with you. But they're wanting to be vulnerable and they're going to open their heart to you. Because like I said, now they're wanting to fulfill their emotional needs. And that emotional need is going to be vulnerable with you, express their love to you, and really get to that next level where they enter union and enter that new phase with you guys. So expect divine masculine to be a little bit different, lighthearted, and much more vulnerable. Okay, so divine feminines, now I'm going to go ahead and explain what's going on in your guys' journey and how the divine feminine is thinking and feeling about the divine masculine. So I am seeing the divine feminine releasing, a lot of release. There's a lot of burning of the old, burning of control. They're making progress in moderating their emotions and moving forward. I'm seeing a lot of divine feminines detaching and gaining their sense of liberation and freedom. That's actually helping them in the journey, helping them move forward with divine masculine, because as they let go of any sort of insufficiencies within themselves and they fill up their own cup, this is actually going to help them expand into a new cycle with divine masculine. So they're exploring the idea of what it would be like to let go of this connection and realizing that the only thing that's keeping them stuck is their own mind, because they feel like if they let go, right, that they're not going to be happy, or they're not going to find someone that's going to make them happy. But in reality, that's all mental. That's just their anxiety. That's just their beliefs. So they're at a point where I am seeing divine feminine opening themselves up to new options. I am seeing divine feminine talking to new people, trying to potentially, explore their options. I am seeing divine feminine communicating and making a healthy choice to love herself, obviously, make healthy choices in her love, in her self-love routine, but also making healthy choices to accept offers of people and individuals that are trying to be genuine, be expressive, and something that she was once wishing and wanting from divine masculine. So divine feminine is now at a point where she's wanting to transform her life, and she's at a point where she's no longer wanting to feel restricted. She's no longer wanting to feel trapped and victimized or paralyzed or pause her happiness, just because this connection isn't happening. She's releasing the codependency as well. And she feels as though for a while she was in some sort of like lack of fulfillment, but it was all due to her mental restrictions. I'm seeing some divine feminines like writing a letter to divine masculine and burning it in the fire here to kind of give them a sense of freedom. And as they do this, literally as they do this is going to help the divine feminine go into a liberation, into a spiritual transformation that's going to quickly gravitate divine masculine back. At this point, I do see a lot of divine feminines kind of like being done, kind of feeling like this connection is kind of tragic. Excuse me. I cough because I am definitely feeling like a lot of divine feminines are done, and they may say that. But a lot of divine feminines are going to feel like very cynical, very skeptical to open their heart back to divine masculine. I am seeing a lot of divine feminines kind of like allowing communication to come back in, or allowing themselves to give passion to divine masculine, but it's going to be in the sense where they're going to be really careful with how much they give. I am seeing that they're super focused on their life path, and they're super focused on their emotional stability. Like they don't want their emotions to get out of whack or out of balance. They don't want this connection to go back to being up and down or imbalance. You know, they're at a point where they don't want the connection to be one-sided, or expect divine masculine to keep them in a blockage or in a codependent connection. So I am seeing that divine feminine, even if she does accept divine masculine back into her life or accept this to move forward, she's going to be at a point where she's going to give minimum effort. And I am seeing her, you know, writing to him, making sure that they remain in communication. But right now she's operating in a lot of aloof and detached energy that's actually helping her hone her individuality, and is gonna help divine masculine actually deepen his emotions for her and deepen his ability to communicate vulnerably and communicate transparently. And this is going to kind of like pull divine masculine in to want to converse more, to get on the same page. So I'm seeing a lot of written communication happening, and divine feminine is still going to want to hone her own happiness here, taking care of herself, but she's gonna communicate in a way where she's not gonna get back into some sort of possession or some sort of codependent dynamic that's gonna make her feel like she lost control of her life or her emotional stability. So I am seeing for a lot of divine feminines, your guys' wish fulfillment is going to be fulfilled here, what you've been wanting, but you're going to be different. Like, you're going to be so much more detached. Like, it's not going to be the same. Obviously, it's still going to be magnetic and irresistible, and the passion is still going to be so much alive, but you're going to approach the situation different because you've evolved, you've changed, you're now in alignment with your higher divine purpose. And the anxiety is not going to be there, in the sense where, you know, if divine masculine decides to devote to you, or if he goes, then that's okay. And you're at a sense where you're not worrying anymore and you're at peace with yourself. So you're kind of like riding with the waves and the flow of the universe. So congratulations, divine feminine. If this is you listening, you are graduating and you are entering a new space where you're going into expansion. So whether you decide to, you know, invest in a new option or, you know, take the lead with divine masculine, it's going to be up to you and how you communicate in the situation. So I do see both of you guys coming home to each other though. So it's going to depend on how you guys navigate the situation.